Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It's been a while. I've been away, I've been traveling, but I'm back. So I've got big movie, TV news, announcements, what to watch this month, all this stuff, and we're gonna try to get back into the groove, get back on schedule. I know The Walking Dead's been off air, and so that's been a very good reason to just take a break, because without The Walking Dead every Sunday, there's less to talk about. Well, there's been a lot since that season finale, and so I'm going to bring you back up to speed. I've been off air so long, I am starting to feel like Bill O'Reilly, but less racist. So, moving on to the biggest news. Of course, the biggest news has to be Game of Thrones. Okay, so last week it was announced that HBO is working on 4 concepts for spin-offs. Because as we all know, Game of Thrones is entering its next to last season, and it is a shortened season. Season 7 is coming up very soon, and it will only be 7 episodes long. Season 8 will be the final season, and it will be even less at 6 episodes long. So, HBO wants to keep us all subscribed, or make sure that we're bugging our parents or our siblings to make sure they stay subscribed and they share their passwords. And so they're going to need more from this world. So they are working on several spin-off concepts. Last week I heard it was 4, and today George R.R. Martin has corrected and said no, 4, not enough. We're working on 5 ideas. Now that does not mean that there will be 5 spin-offs to Game of Thrones. It just means that they're working on 5 different concepts. 1 or more of them might see the light of day. So the big assumptions would be that they would be either Robert's Rebellion, which is a immediate prequel to the Game of Thrones events. We've seen the flashbacks with young Ned, or possibly the Dunk and Egg stories, which are another series set in that world that take place even farther back. But that's not the case. George R.R. Martin has said that actually none of the concepts rely on existing current characters. So that means no Robert's Rebellion. He said that by the time he's done with his normal, the Song of Fire and Ice book series, we will know every important thing that happened related to that. So he doesn't see any point in going into a series with that. And he's also said that he learned from the Game of Thrones series that he doesn't want them to adapt Dunk and Egg until he's finished with the stories, so that the TV show doesn't get ahead of him. So those 2 are off the table. What could the 5 spin-off concepts be? Join us sometime in the future and we will just have a pure episode speculating about that. Darren says, watching it all again, currently watching season 5. Season 5 was okay, but I think it got off track a little bit. Season 6 is the one that just wrapped, and man, it's moving fast. So anyway, that's the Game of Thrones news announced via George R.R. Martin's live journal. Yes. George R.R. Martin is the last person on LiveJournal. Does he have MySpace? I don't know. So anyway, another big announcement, another spin-off, if you will. Downton Abbey is getting a movie. The long-rumored Downton Abbey movie is happening, and Julian Fellowes, who is the creator of the TV show, is actually working on the movie. Apparently, he wrote the script just assuming that eventually it might become a movie, and so this script has been around, and it's going to be the big screen version of Downton Abbey. Will it be a prequel? Will it be a sequel? I don't know, but if it comes out around Christmas, I'm sure they will kill off a beloved character. So, another big announcement, Once Upon a Time, the ABC TV series is renewed for another season. However, basically all of the principal actors are leaving the show. The only ones remaining will be Regina, Mr. Gold, and Hook, I believe. And so all the other main characters, they're gone. So Once Upon a Time will be coming back, but I'm not sure it's going to have a happy ending. So that's going to be a big shakeup that will force them to change from a show where one character does something and 8 characters stand around watching them to a show where one character does something and only 2 or 3 characters stand around watching it. All right, so if you missed it, The Defenders, the upcoming Marvel team-up series, the trailer came out we finally got to see these 4 characters that have been built up and built up and built up through individual series together, fighting in the same hallway at once. So you've got Daredevil, you've got Jessica Jones, you've got Luke Cage, and you've got Iron Fist Danny Rand. And the trailer is awesome. If you have not seen it, definitely look up the Defenders trailer. This has been the same way that Marvel set up their cinematic universe by doing a standalone Iron Man, and then doing a Thor, and then doing a Captain America, and then bring them together in Avengers. That's what's been happening over the last 3 years, 4 years, however long it's been since Daredevil Season 1 premiered on Netflix. And so it's finally coming together. You can check that out. As great as that looks, that other Marvel series, Inhumans, they released the first photo of the cast, and it's looking a little shaky, but that's an ABC series, so as we all know, Netflix does it right. All right, another trailer that you should check out if you have not seen it, The Dark Tower. All right, so The Dark Tower is the long-awaited, long-anticipated Stephen King adaptation of the book, and Idris Elba is the star along with Matthew McConaughey. He plays the Man in Black, and so this is coming. Finally, yes. Many of us were hoping that this would finally be adapted as an HBO or Netflix series, but no, it is being adapted as a full screen or a full big screen adaptation, theatrical release, Ron Howard, the whole thing. It's going to be big. It looks good. I think if you understand the Dark Tower source material, the gunslinger, I'm not sure how they're going to condense it all into one movie. But anyway, the trailer looks awesome. So we're off to a good start, at least optically. All right. If you have not seen it, our friend Josh McDermott, who plays Eugene in The Walking Dead, has quit social media. Yes, you made Eugene sad. So if you've watched our Walking Dead shows, you know how much of a fan I am of Eugene and that glorious, glorious head of hair. And apparently there are a lot of people who simply cannot distinguish between an actor and the character they portray. So since Eugene has seemingly turned to the dark side in The Walking Dead, there's been a lot of abuse on social media, and you made Eugene cry. I hope you're happy, Internet. I hope you're happy. So anyway, hopefully he is back for the next season, which will probably premiere around October, as it always does. Sarah says, I'm curious about that show, American Gods. It was just renewed for a season 2. So that is the new show on Starz and Neil Gaiman adaptation. And let us know if you're watching American Gods, because I'd love to know your opinion. It is one of those highly anticipated shows that people have been saying could do to Starz what Game of Thrones has been doing to HBO, which means fueling subscriptions. All right, so in other Walking Dead news, if you are one of our friends in Scotland or near Scotland, there is a pop-up Walking Dead themed bar. It is called the Survive Bar. It is in Edinburgh, and it is open until June 29th. So if you want more information on that, go to thepopupgeeks.com. These guys have previously done a Game of Thrones themed bar in Dublin, which unfortunately I missed. But you can check this out until June 29th, and it looks pretty cool. Next time I make it to Scotland, hopefully is before it closes so I can check it out, but I don't know. Anyway, if you go, send us pictures, please. All right, Darren says, I've seen the Hound in the new XXX and was like, he's the Hound. He's also the drummer in the band Texas. I don't know if I've seen the Hound from Game of Thrones in anything other than Game of Thrones, but I'm also not sure if I would recognize him without half of his face burned off. I believe the actor's name is Rory McCann, but I'm sure that we will be seeing lots of Game of Thrones actors popping up in other things because they're coming to the end of the show. So what's going to happen is all of these actors will be freed up to pursue other things. So anyway, that's it for the news, but I want to get to the big movies this month. Real quick rundown. First of all, the biggest one, the biggest movie in the galaxy right now, of course, is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And if you have not seen this movie yet, what living planet are you living on? Because it's been out for weeks. It is everything we expected. Great music, fun action, funny, You know, everything that you loved about Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, basically they're bringing it back in Volume 2 and they're adding Kurt Russell. And everything's better with Kurt Russell. So, I've seen this movie just like you should have seen this movie. It is a straight up space comedy. If you are not prepared for it to be a comedy, then you are going into the wrong movie. Sarah says, I heart Baby Groot. Everybody hearts Baby Groot. So I don't want to talk about any details. Darren says, I haven't watched it yet and can't wait to see it. What are you waiting for? Of course, this movie is not leaving theaters anytime soon because it is still making piles and piles of money. So the closest thing to competition that just came out this week is King Arthur. Closest thing to competition is not even remotely close to competition because King Arthur has bombed at the box office. So this is Charlie Hunnam of Sons of Anarchy starring in this adaptation by Guy Ritchie. So I love Guy Ritchie movies. I love Sons of Anarchy. Charlie Hunnam's great. He's also in Pacific Rim. Just not working. Not working. People were not interested in seeing this movie. It just came out, but based on the box office from the opening weekend, it looks like this thing could lose up to $150 million. So Warner Brothers is heads will roll. Heads will roll. It only made about $15 million this weekend, which sounds like a lot of money unless you're Hollywood. And then it's not a lot of money. All right. Alex, thank you for joining, says best King Arthur might be Excalibur. Yeah, I think we've all seen this story before. And if it's going to be a Guy Ritchie movie, I would have preferred that they did away with the CGI and they made it a little bit more grounded. I think that's what he does very well. We know what he can do with Sherlock Holmes. Like, why didn't they just do that? I think they went overboard with it. But anyway, yeah, and Sarah says, I'd rent it, but bad timing with Guardians. So, yeah, there's no way. It was not going to compete with Guardians of the Galaxy. So moving on to another Marvel property, Logan, which came out months ago, is coming out in theaters for a short time on the 16th. And it is Logan Noir. So this is a black and white, or I should more accurately say monochrome adaptation of the movie. If you did not see Logan yet, it's a perfect time to go see it in theaters where you should see it. It is going to be the best possible presentation. Always see it in theaters. Always get the popcorn. Always get the large drink. They give you refills. And so Logan is coming out minus the color. Yeah, you could watch it at home, but take a friend. See it right. And it deserves your money. It really, I think that Logan is probably the best comic book movie ever made, and I am reluctant to even call it a comic book movie because it's a great film. Rithwick says, beautiful movie, truly magnificent. I couldn't agree more. Darren says, Logan was amazing. Rithwick also points out Sherlock Holmes 3 script is in progress. So Guy Ritchie, he's got more to do. He's also going to be adapting the live-action Aladdin for Disney. So hopefully he's learned his lessons and it's not a CGI storm. So moving on to this coming week, another oh, Chelsea's asking real quick, is it acceptable to go to movies alone? I used to say no, but then I got married and had a child, and now absolutely I go to the movies by myself all the time. Although if you go to see Alien Covenant this weekend, you might wish you had taken a friend, because look at that guy. Look at him. All right, so this has gotten mixed reviews from early screenings. People are saying it's better than Prometheus, it's more like Alien, but it doesn't quite live up to the other Alien movies. All right, so burning right through from Alien to Baywatch. Yes, that's The Rock and Zac Efron. And this is a movie now. It's coming out on the 26th, or sorry, the 25th, I believe. 25th or 26th, one or the other. And I actually had a pass for an advanced screening of this, and I got to the theater, and they said it was full. Can you believe that? Baywatch. I was really just going for the popcorn. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know. It's The Rock and Zac Efron. And I'll probably give anything The Rock's in a try because he's at least going to be entertaining. So Baywatch is coming out. The same weekend, Pirates of the Caribbean Part 14 comes out. And this is the revenge of Johnny Depp's ex. So yes, he needs to make more money. Do you know that before the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, Johnny Depp had never done a sequel? And now he does only sequels. It's unbelievable. But anyway, we've seen the Paul McCartney in costume photo that's floating around the internet. And I have to tell you, I have not watched any since the first one. Kind of one and done, I'm good. So Johnny Depp, good luck to you. Good luck on the alimony. And here's to the next 10 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. It is officially a race between Pirates of the Caribbean, Fast and the Furious, and Transformers now to see who can have the most sequels and how many I cannot go to. All right. Sarah is definitely paying to see Pirates. All right. Get the drink and the popcorn too. Make it the whole thing. All right, so real quick, next month, beginning of June, just so you know what's coming out. June 2nd is Wonder Woman. We're gonna have a lot to say about this. So be prepared for Wonder Woman, and we will probably have some more DC Universe, Zack Snyder bashing to do in relation to this movie. But it looks good, the trailer looks great. DC makes good trailers. Can they make good movies? Hopefully Wonder Woman is the one that just slays the critics. I really hope. If any of them does, I think Wonder Woman has the potential. Rithwick says, Johnny Depp needs to revive his career. Hope it goes well. Yeah, but if you see a Edward Scissorhands Part 2, we'll know that it's officially done. So the other big movies in June, The Mummy comes out June 9th. This is Mission Impossible versus a mummy, basically. Tom Cruise. It looks great. I'm excited for this movie, and Brendan Fraser, wherever you are, I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of you. All right, and Transformers on the 23rd. Speaking of another franchise that I'm not terribly excited to see this, the next installment of, Transformers The Last Night. It has Anthony Hopkins. I might go for Anthony Hopkins. That's probably it. I've checked out of the Transformers franchise, but if you like Transformers, Part 1, Part 2, Part 7, Part 9, it's going to be Transformers. You know what you're going to get. And, you know, if you like it, it's more of the same. Just like Fast and the Furious. I just saw Fate of the Furious. I really enjoyed it because I like those movies, but I know what I'm going to get. I always know what I'm going to get. So anyway, more Transformers. We have more toys to sell. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Sarah says, I still haven't gotten around to Batman v Superman. I don't think you'll need to for Wonder Woman. It's a sort of a prequel, so that's good. In fact, you might enjoy Wonder Woman more if you haven't seen Batman v Superman. I would be very interested in your opinion. If you go to see Wonder Woman, I'd like to know what you think of it versus people that have seen her in Batman v Superman. Because I think most people have seen Batman v Superman. It's hard to get an untainted opinion. All right, so that is in theaters. I'm just going to burn through movies that are coming to streaming and premium channels real quick. First of all, The Wizard of Oz is out now on Amazon. It's The Wizard of freaking Oz. This is one of the best movies ever made. It holds up so well. I believe it came out in 1939. Unbelievable how well this movie holds up. So good. If you have any little ones and they've never seen The Wizard of Oz, you have to get this classic in front of them. You have to. Another classic, maybe not for the little ones, Coming to America is coming to Hulu. So this is a personal favorite, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and so this is a guilty pleasure. Every time this is on like TNT on a Saturday afternoon, I have to stop and watch it. And I bring this up partially because there is a sequel that's being written. Yes, this movie came out in the late 80s, and there's a sequel being written by the original writers. Just a little bit of trivia, there was actually a CBS sitcom in 1989. They tried to adapt this to TV, and it failed miserably. Of course, it didn't have Eddie Murphy, but back then he could do no wrong. Now, a little different. All right, if you want to be depressed, Manchester by the Sea is now on Amazon. Find out what all the fuss is about. And another favorite, an oldie but a goodie that's on Hulu is What About Bob? So What About Bob? This movie with Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray, It was big in the 90s. I really enjoy it. It's funny, but I bring this up because this is another one that is being rebooted, apparently with a female cast. Because you take a Bill Murray classic, you reboot it with a female cast, what could possibly go wrong? But it's being adapted for TV, so baby steps, people, baby steps. All right, there's a documentary on Hulu called Batman and Bill. This is about the little-known co-creator of Batman. His name is Bill Finger. So you've probably seen Bob Kane credited in everything Batman for the last, since the 60s, since Adam West. This is the guy that never got the credit. Famously, a lot of comic book creators have been screwed by the industry, screwed out of their credit. And so this is an interesting documentary if you'd like to know the origins of The Dark Knight. So that's on Hulu. Another thing that you might want to catch up on if you missed it, coming to HBO, it's actually out now, Sully. No, not that Sully, that Sully. Although I can see how you could mistake them. So anyway, Sully is actually on HBO right now. This is The Miracle on the Hudson. Fun fact, I watched that plane float by on the Hudson River. I actually worked along the West Side Highway of Manhattan, and I was at work the day that that happened, and someone walked into my office and said, "There's a plane in the river." And so I looked out the window, and sure enough, floated right by. So anyway, of course, I said, well, eventually they're going to make a movie about this, and they're going to call it Miracle on the Hudson, right? I was only half right. They did make a movie, but they're calling it Sully. And Miracle on the Hudson, unfortunately, I did not go to GoDaddy and register the .com. That was the headline on every paper in the country the next day. So Darren asked, where is my drinking partner? Joe is, he's around. He's going to join me soon. We have more shows to do. And also Roddy will be back. He's been in Hawaii. Lucky Roddy. So we're going to get back on schedule, and we're going to do more shows. All right, so real quick, other things you need to know. Jackie Brown is on Amazon, the lesser-known, overlooked often Quentin Tarantino movie. You can also check out The Place Beyond the Pines, another movie that's on Netflix and did not get enough attention. Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper. It's really, really good. You should watch this movie, not just for Ryan Gosling, but you probably will for that. On HBO, this is a big one, The Wizard of Lies. This is the Bernie Madoff story. This is Robert De Niro playing Bernie Madoff. And what a well-timed movie, considering all the inequality and the corruption that's happening around us today. So looking forward to that. That's going to be a big one for HBO. If you missed it in theaters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows is hitting Hulu and Amazon. I've heard good things. I generally don't about Michael Bay movies, but I have about this, so I'll probably check it out now that it's going to be on a streaming service I get. And so on the 21st, Amazon, La La Land, wait, no, I mean Moonlight hits Amazon, so you can finally see the best picture that all the fuss was about, and Warren Beatty, be sure to check this out. So you know what you're talking about. War Machine hits Netflix on the 26th. This is a Netflix original movie, Brad Pitt, and it is not a Don Cheadle movie in the Marvel Universe. It is Brad Pitt playing General Stanley McChrystal. It is a political satire, and Netflix paid big bucks for this movie. So they're going to be really pimping it hard, and it looks good. You really can't go wrong with Brad Pitt. All right. Darren says Short Circuit was on this weekend. Loved it. You can't go wrong with Short Circuit, although there's some questionable casting issues in that movie that seem a little iffy in hindsight from a racial perspective. Keep it in mind. All right, so Doctor Strange hits Netflix on the 30th. Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, Marvel Universe. It's great. I love it. It's a good movie. You should check it out. All right, there's only a few more things to watch or be excited about this month, and we're going to flip to the TV world, right? So those were all movies. Sense8, Season 2 has hit Netflix. This is the Wachowskis of the Matrix fame. This is their series. I heard great things about this. I haven't watched season 2 yet, but it is now on Netflix. Master of None season 2 just hit Netflix. This is funny. It's poignant. It's a well-done show. Sarah says, I'm a musical person, so I can't wait for La La Land. Never got to see it yet. I've been waiting for it to hit a HBO or a Starz myself. And Darren says, I liked La La Land and the wife fell asleep. That's not the way it's supposed to work. The wife is supposed to like it. You're supposed to fall asleep. Get it right. All right. So Sherlock season 4 hits Netflix. And funny, they announced that apparently from a worldwide popularity perspective, Sherlock is the most popular series on Netflix. I wouldn't have guessed, but I understand. So season 4 is on Netflix. On the 19th, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt season 3 hits Netflix. And so that should be good, more of the same. On the 19th, 12 Monkeys season 3 premieres on Sci-Fi. Now this is a little complicated, just like 12 Monkeys. So season 3 is coming out, and on Friday, the 19th, you will be able to watch 4 episodes on the Sci-Fi channel. The next day on Saturday, there will be 3 episodes, and the next day on Sunday, there will be 3 episodes. So you will be able to binge over 3 nights the entirety of season 3 of 12 Monkeys on the Sci-Fi channel. This is unprecedented. Season 4 is coming. It has been renewed, and that will be the final season. So perfect time. It's a bingeable series, and Sci-Fi knows it. That's why they're doing this. Big, big news, Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is back after 25 years. The 21st on Showtime, the David Lynch series that has impacted all of TV. Everything we watch today can be traced back to Twin Peaks. This groundbreaking series is finally coming back. Check it out on Showtime. I hope it lives up to the expectations. It's David Lynch. It's going to be crazy. You have to watch it. And in the meantime, binge at least season 1. Get caught up. All right. Bloodline season 3. This is the final season hitting Netflix. It's done after this. So maybe, you know, binge all 3. And the big one, we're going to end on a high note, House of Cards season 5, because we need creepy, unlikable, dangerous people in positions of power nowadays. And Kevin Spacey, thank you, because we're just not getting enough of that without you. We need your help. All right, so that is what's happening this month and the beginning of next month. And sorry I had to run through this, but we will be back. We'll be back on schedule. Share, subscribe, follow, like, tweet. Ben's got to run, so I'm going to sign off right now. Thanks for joining. We're back in the New York groove, everyone.